Joe Risk, Chief Banking Officer with the Arab Bank Australia Limited. Yes, it is Risk, and I am in the bank.
Hi, I'm Helen Michael of Arab Bank Australia, Head of Research and Development and Company Secretary.
The way that I heard about your capacity to provide support was through our Managing Director.
And he was quite excited about the idea. It was actually quite relevant to the bank. I think the bank's understanding was that sales were coming in, but to us the concept was that there was a hole in the bucket, and we're trying to understand how those sales were moving through the funnel. The bank's philosophy is that everyone is a salesperson, so therefore everyone needs to understand who our target market is and how we're going to address and service that target market.
If you've got people such as board members, the finance side, the CFO, you've got Chief Operating Officer, plus the fact that you've had someone like the Managing Director that's been involved in sales and marketing the bank, that mix generates a lot more understanding in terms of leadership. That can give you a fabulous outcome in terms of how they will position their team, their individual teams, in terms of actually providing support to the frontline team.
Absolutely get them involved, even if it is only for part of the session, just so that they can get a very detailed and clear understanding of what actions need to be taken to effectively implement your strategy. To be honest, initially they were quite sceptical, and this is the issue of I think they believed that it wasn't quite relevant for them to be involved in what seemed to be quite a detailed process, and that what also seemed to be more a management issue rather than a board issue. However, throughout the 2 days, they became as engaged, if not more engaged, than most of the management team. Yeah, the greatest concern was that it didn't initially seem very relevant to banking, and so that was a point of scepticism for a lot of the management team. The fundamentals for understanding sales and the sales funnel are essentially the same across a variety of industries, despite that I suppose the intricacies and the details of how you undertake that sale may differ. And one of the other issues was, I suppose, of its relevance and I suppose its target, so whether it would be targeted at a senior management level or at a board level. So we were actually concerned that for senior management it might be too detailed, and for people at I suppose one level down it might be too high level, so we weren't quite sure about the pitch. I think the board found it quite difficult not to get engaged in the process because they were quite excited about where it was going, and I think they certainly got a lot more clarity out of that process. It was very intense, and at the end of day one I think we felt exhausted, and little did we know that day two was going to be even tougher. Most importantly was engagement from the variety of participants, from board level through to the sales and the product people, and also the heads of the operating and support areas. That was probably the most valuable, I think, output, was that everyone was very clearly engaged and involved. A very detailed understanding of how the sales funnel works and how to better manage and process sales as they move through the organisation.
Which clients and what segments of the market we need to really concentrate on, and the volumes that we need to have in terms of the funnel, the movement through the funnel, and the recycling of your opportunities on an ongoing basis.
Development of a very clear and actionable plan on how to implement the strategy.
What actions do we need to sort of undertake to facilitate that new approach? You know, what sort of changes do we have to have behind the scenes in terms of your back office? Definitely, I'd recommend if there was a real need for them, I would recommend that they go through the process.